Joe?
Jensen Ackles from Supernatural.
Oh, Supernatural. Okay. All right. I didn't hear the name you said. Cool.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Let me mark the time for Honkey. Okay. Welcome to the Minnix podcast. You like that? This is episode 216. We are an open podcast lug that meets at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every first and third Friday of the month using Mumble. We encourage anyone listening to join us and participate on the podcast. Check out www.linuxlugcast.com for the server details. If you have any questions, comments, or a topic you would like us to discuss and are unable to join us during the live show, you can send us an email at feedback@linuxlugcast.com. We have a subreddit where we post links we like to talk about on the show. That's at r/LinuxLugcast. We have a MeWe community, maybe. I think it still exists. We also have a Matrix channel, a YouTube channel, and a PeerTube channel. All of that information is available on the website. So check out linuxlugcast.com for all your Lugcast needs. All right, tonight Honkey is not with us, so I will be your host, the HHIC, head Honkey in charge. I am Minnix, and we have with us Joe.
Hello.
Netminer.
Hello, folks.
Mortensey.
Good evening, everyone.
Lovecraft.
Good evening.
And in the chat, we have Cherry Hill Tony. Thanks for being with us, buddy. So, should we just get right to it? The acting prowess of Chris Hemsworth, the most believable hacker on the planet.
That's the one. Acting prowess. That's what we call it.
Did everybody see Blackhat? Oh, you've seen it before, right, Mortensey?
I did. I watched it a second time.
Yeah. Did you watch it, Lovecraft?
I did.
I watched it. Joe, did you watch it?
I did indeed watch it.
Do you want to give a quick description?
I don't. I really don't.
Okay, I will. Let me bring up the IMDb just so I get the details right. When it was made and all that. Blackhat. It was made in 2015. It's a action thriller directed by Michael Mann. You may know Michael Mann of Miami Vice fame. And, oh man, he's done so many movies. He did Manhunter, which was the prequel to Silence of the Lambs, Collateral, Public Enemies. He's actually up there with one of my dudes. I like him a lot, but I don't know if I really like this effort by him. The story is, it starts out, I guess, in like a nuclear plant. Is that what it is in
Yes.
China? In China, and things go wrong in the nuclear plant. A hacker has hacked into the system and caused the I guess the coolant to overheat and explode, which is kind of a big deal for a nuclear plant. After that, there's like a stock market incident where it gets hacked, and I'm not sure what's going on. Like some kind of stock is rising when it shouldn't
futures.
be. Yeah, and so people start to catch on. This is a hack. And the Chinese government and FBI kind of figure it out at the same time, and they realize it was performed using a kind of like a piece of software, an access software. And so the Chinese police, I guess, or this guy, he's a captain of the police, and They task him with finding out who is doing the hacking, and he's got a hot sister. She's been in other stuff too. Let's see, what's her name on here? Tang Wei is her name on here, but in the movie she's just Lin, and so she kind of works with him. She's a computer person too. I'm not exactly sure what her job is, but so they meet up with the
She was working in networking.
networking. Okay, so they meet up with the FBI in the U.S. and they figure out that the tool that was used to hack into the nuclear plant and the stock marketplace was actually created by one of the agents for the FBI, and then he had a college roommate who is Chris Hemsworth and plays a guy named Nicholas Hathaway when they were going to MIT. So they said, well, we need to get this Hathaway involved. He's in prison right now because he's been hacking on banks, and we'll tell him, we'll let you out if you help us find this hacker. And so they go and see him, and he's like, well, you guys are kind of in a pinch, and you really need my help, but you're going to have to just get me out of prison for good if you want my help. And they kind of agree to that. But he has to wear like a monitor, and he has to have like a escort wherever he goes. But so that's the deal. So they kind of they send him out to look for it, and he manages to mess with his escort's phone or something and escape from him. And he sets up this meeting with the hacker or the hackers. I'm not sure who at a restaurant. And but the guy doesn't show up, and then he notices there's like a camera that's in the restaurant, and he figures, oh well, he sees me here with this, or he sees me. He's kind of keeping tabs on me, so he knows where I'm at, and it kind of plays on that theme a lot of like surveillance. That kind of goes through the movie about like the NSA, I think, is involved in stuff too, and there's all this surveillance-oriented plot twists and things. So they eventually find a lead that's in back in Hong Kong where the nuclear plant was, and they find out that the money that was grifted from the stock market is going to like this militia, and they find out who's running the militia and stuff, and so they go. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
There's a little bit more there because what they find out is that 75 million that was made from the stock market hack was going to be used to make more money by investing in tin, because the reason that they did the run on the nuclear plant was because they had a specific style of water pump, which was
right.
used to run all these dams, which were protecting all these different tin mines, and not only tin mines, but all the farmland and the villages around these tin mines.
And they wanted to destroy those mines, right? So they can corner the market.
To run on with tin, and if they own all of the essentially tin futures, or tin interests, or all the tin that's currently on the market, and that price shoots through the roof because you can't get any more tin, they've made quite a bit more money, and then they can use that money for their nefarious plans.
That's a pretty genius plan too, if you think about it.
Yeah, but you don't dry run on a nuclear power plant. It draws too much attention.
Yeah, maybe that was their mistake. As far as getting more information about the water pumps. So anyway, yeah, that's why they do it in the first place. That's their plan anyway with this militia. What is the militia's purpose anyway? Are they just trying to become powerful, or they have a specific goal in mind?
I don't remember what that uber rich jerk said that he was planning on doing,
I don't either.
other than making money with the scam.
So they managed to get the like the forensic data from the nuclear plant that was hit, and but I guess the hard drive or whatever has been irradiated, and so it was like corrupt. And the NSA has a special software that they said that could actually read the data on the drive, but they don't want to give the cop and China basically access to this software. So the FBI that's working with the Chinese police, they get Chris Hemsworth to hack into the NSA and get the software, and then they use that and find out that the hacker is in Indonesia, I believe. I think that's right.
Yeah.
And
Jakarta, Indonesia. Yeah.
Jakarta, okay, yeah, Indonesia, and so now they kind of have his position, and but because of that Hemsworth was peeping around in there, it was illegal to do that, even though they said he could. The FBI is saying, all right, you got to take this guy back to prison. He's too dangerous and stuff. And so they said, the Chinese police are like, well, we're going to go ahead and give him back to the police in the U.S. But the captain that he's working with tells Hemsworth, hey, they're gonna come and get you, and or they're gonna send you back to prison over in the U.S. And so he kind of gets a heads up. In the meantime, he's kind of messing around with that captain's sister. The what was she? She
was networking.
Networking. She works in networking, and while they're kind of messing around and talking and stuff, her brother, the captain, gets blown up in his car by the militia. I guess they had tracked him or something, and
with a rocket-propelled grenade.
Yeah, he gets blown up by a rocket, and so there's this big shootout after that with the militia and then the FBI, and then the girl and Hemsworth are there too, and they managed to get away, and they flee the country. I don't know, I'm not exactly sure where they went. Wherever the tin mines were, because he's onto them, or what. By this time, he's onto them about what their plan is with the nuclear plant, and
now reading the write-up, there was the militia group, but they were just a link in the chain. There was no actual plans for the militia group. This was all about making money with tin options.
Oh, okay, all right. So they didn't really have a specific goal in mind or anything, except making money. So they, he's onto them now. Hemsworth is on him now, and he's like, okay, so we need to go to where, or what they're going to do is destroy these dams or destroy these tin mines, and so he says, all right, let me see if I can do some more hacking, and somehow he gets a hold of all the money that they stole and transfers it into his own account. And then that finally forces the hacker kind of out in the open, and he sees he's got his money stolen that he was working to invest in the tin with. And so they say, okay, Hemsworth said he kind of wants in on the action and it wants to be a partner and stuff. And so they agreed, we'll meet up and talk it out and stuff. And Hemsworth has this. I don't know what you call this. He makes these weapons and stuff, but he's got this body armor,
Yeah, this part kind of bugged me too, because he made prison-style body armor and prison-style weapons. And, okay, he has experience because he was in prison. Blah blah blah.
Right.
He made the screwdriver shiv, but you know what? You could have just walked into the kitchen of whatever place you were in and grabbed a frickin' steak knife.
Yeah, or anything besides what he did. Like he was acting like he was still in prison, and this was the only
Right.
things available to him to make a screwdriver shiv and stuff. And it's like it's kind of weird.
Okay, maybe he couldn't have gotten, like proper body armor. Maybe he couldn't have gone out and got Kevlar, even though he had like $75 million in the bank. But did he really need to make magazine body armor?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I mean, I understand you're in a different country, and I don't know about the laws there, and he probably doesn't know anybody. But being this hardcore hacker, you would think that he could, connect with somebody to get some decent weapons or something. But I guess.
Considering you could have just gotten, like a real leather jacket or something and had about as much protection.
Yeah. So anyway, there's this scene where he's making these weapons and making this crazy body armor he puts under his shirt and stuff, and so then he wants to meet up with the hacker, and he tells him, okay, it's just you, I only want you to be there. But of course, when he gets there, it's kind of like a double cross, I guess. And there's they bring all their men and stuff, and so the girl tells him, hey, this is what's going on. And so he said, all right, we're gonna have to go to a different location, because he wants like people around. And so they go to, like, I don't know, some kind of festival or something, to meet up with the hacker and the militia guy and stuff. And then there's kind of like a not really a gunfight, but like he gets to use his screwdriver shiv.
There was a gunfight. There was gunfiring. That was another thing. There's this festival going on, and you've got at least two people walking around pointing really big guns.
Yeah.
And everybody's still just like, whatever.
Maybe this is just a part of life wherever they're at. I don't know. But before the gunfight, that's when Hemsworth breaks out the shiv and kills that guy that was like.
Well, he tries to
like
kill
frisking
Sadak.
him or something.
Oh yeah, the mercenary. He killed the mercenary, and then he starts going for Sadak, but he gets distracted by the other henchman, and then Sadak walks up and stabs Hemsworth, and then Hemsworth does a spin move, pulls out his screwdriver again, and
yep, and he ends up killing the main hacker guy, and then the end is like him. He's all messed up, but he's got his girlfriend now. She kind of patches him up, and they head out.
Yeah, he did get shot a couple of times.
Yeah. So that's the gist of the movie. Actually, that's the whole movie.
Yeah, that's the end right there. They disappear into the night. Blah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So I guess he still has the money, and so they're just wealthy now, and he's not. I mean, I'm sure he would still have to be on the FBI wanted list or whatever, right?
Because when you got $75 million in the bank, you just go to a non-extradition treaty country, and you buy your mansion and you chill.
I guess so. Pull a Snowden or something and go to Russia, and you don't have to worry about it. But so I mean, it was okay. It was. I had a hard time buying Thor as a hacker. I think he was kind of miscast in this movie. He didn't really make a lot of sense to me in this part.
He didn't seem dumb or anything, and I was really kind of surprised that they only had the one scene with him without his shirt on.
Yeah.
But
if you've seen really smart hackers like Dennis Ritchie or even Linus Torvalds or anybody like that, they're never ever going to look like Chris Hemsworth ever. That's sure as hell not going to be making these specialized hacking tools to get to rob banks and stuff like that. So, and just
Well, it was more or less just a reverse proxy tool, and I will say that the hardware scenes that they showed were interesting visuals, but then when they showed like stuff on the command line, that was just stupid.
Well, and the thing about hacking movies and stuff like that is it really is difficult to make it look exciting. You know, if you can either stick to realism or you
No,
can drama it up a little bit and make it more exciting.
right.
You can't
I
have both.
I will say that the hack against the government agency actually seemed somewhat realistic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, when
Like,
he was into the NSA to use that tool.
yeah, when they was busting into that to use the tool, because that was social engineering.
Yeah.
He social engineered the guy that told him no, you can't use this tool. He got to that guy's boss and sent him an email that looked like it was company internal, and then click on this to update your password. Here's the process using a PDF, which was a keylogger, and then so the guy changes his password, and the keylogger sends that information back to Hemsworth. Now that seems plausible and accurate when it comes to hacking.
No, that actually happens too.
Yes, that's the way it works.
It's almost always.
It's almost always something like that.
Hard breaches to that.
Man, you are. Something's
That was
going on with
bad.
your audio, Morton. See, that is really bad and loud.
I think all our breaches at work have been that way with PDFs.
Yeah, it's always something like that. You know, there's usually some kind of social engineering involved, and or downloading something you're not supposed to download. It's rarely somebody just brute forcing into your system and stealing all your data. It's a misstep usually by somebody.
We have brute force stuff too, because people set their passwords to stuff that's in dictionary tags.
Well, yeah, I guess that could happen. Stupid people with stupid passwords. But this movie's okay. I had a hard time believing Chris Hemsworth as a hacker, especially like this genius hacker. I just think he was miscast in this movie. I think he should have had somebody else to play his part.
I didn't have a problem with that, and part of the reason he was buff for a hacker was he's also spent a lot of time in prison recently.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But setting that aside, I thought the movie was just kind of generic and boring.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was definitely a tech movie. Lots of technology, hacking involved, and stuff like that. But as far as hacking movies go, I thought Sneakers was better. I thought Hackers was better. I thought War Games was better. I'm not very high on this movie. I think like Joe, it's very generic. It definitely doesn't feel like a Michael Mann movie. Like he has these flashes of brilliance in some of his movies that really set him apart from other directors. And this just felt like I don't know. It just felt like he was just following the trend or whatever, and not really doing anything new or different. And I just wasn't into it. I didn't really. I mean, it was okay, but I didn't think it was a bad movie. But like Joe said, I think it's just kind of generic and not really rewatchable.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I felt it was a little flat. I don't know. It just kind of felt like it ended abruptly. Would have liked a little more resolution or a little follow up or something like that. But it was. I mean, it's already over 2 hours long. So
yeah, it was a long movie.
But I mean, I didn't hate it, but I don't think I'm gonna be rewatching anytime soon either.
I'm gonna give it a half a thumbs up, half a star instead of a full star.
A neutral. It's a neutral.
Yeah. So when I put the star rating for me, I'll put a half a star. That's like this sideways thumb. Anybody have anything different?
No, sideways
Seven.
thumbs.
I'm right there with you on neutral. I didn't even know that was a thing until now. But yeah,
Right.
neutral sounds good.
We made it a thing right now.
Yeah,
All
on,
right.
on the fly. That's how we do things here. Okay, so 2 stars, 4 half stars equals 2 stars, and for I've got the movie already. The next one.
He's just randomly picking them
No,
instead of using the randomizer.
I did use the randomizer earlier because I wanted to get it ready to put on the in the Lugcast folder. So I don't know if any of you guys know now, but I've been I went ahead and shared the whole Lugcast folder I have on the Nextcloud server. So it's got all the episodes on there that I've recorded the video on. It's got the Lugcast movie list. It's got the Lugcast movies in there if you want to watch them. If you don't have that link, I'll put it in the matrix now. And then you can, whatever you need to get out of there, you can get out of there. Okay. Then, do we have a drum roll, Mortency? It's called vamping.
Vamping?
That's what I'm doing, waiting for the drum roll.
Not loading.
Okay, I'll just bang on my microphone. Ta-da! It's my science project from 1985. I always get this one and Weird Science mixed up.
This is the one with Val Kilmer.
No, that's Real Genius.
Oh, okay. Yep.
This is
All right.
with John Stockwell and Daniel von Zernick. It says a high school student and his friend find a strange orb-like piece of equipment to use as a science project, but must stop it when it begins to threaten mankind. And that film
But we need to make sure that Real Genius is on the list.
Only if somebody hasn't seen it can they add it. So my science project, and that's in the Lugcast folder currently. I don't remember this one.
Robotrix.
Robotrix is in there. Blackhat's in there.
I found one called Delete. It's classified as a miniseries. It's 2 episodes.
That's fine. I haven't seen a miniseries in a long time. Remember that those used to be popular on just regular TV? They'd have a miniseries every once every a few times a year. A network would bring out a miniseries.
Well, that was 10th Kingdom. I know
was it?
Mentioned that earlier.
Oh, was that on TV?
It was.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Can you add it to the list, Danny?
Yeah. What is it called?
Delete from 2013.
2013. All right.
It's about a young reporter, a young hacker who uncovers an artificial intelligence which has become sentient.
2013. And what did we just do? Blackhat. I got 2 stars. Okay. deletes on there. So previous movie, next movie is going to be My Science Project from 1985. IMDb. All right. All right. Movie news is over. What about projects? You guys been working on anything? Joe,
Sadly, no.
you're always printing something.
I'm always printing something, that's true. But other than, trying to convert some old spools into drawers, I did get a filament dryer to try and dry out some of my PET G, so hopefully we'll have less of a difficult time 3D printing with that. My little docking station that I had made has had further issues in that the USB hub with PD pass-through that I got for it worked for about a day. But because it worked when I first hooked it up, I 3D designed and printed a casing for it, which I then attached to the whole bottom layer. So it's made for this, but this doesn't work anymore. So I'll either order one more of these just to try again and see if it, breaks in a couple of days. And if that's the case, then I will redesign and redo the entire bottom with a better hub.
Different brand.
But yeah. But yeah, for now that's kind of stuck where it is. I mean, I kind of need to add some parts anyway to adjust the balance again, because the previous connector, which also had the same problem where the pass-through PD charging quit working, it was longer, so it made it so that the device didn't tip backwards. And right now it's backwards with the shorter connector. So I'll need to make some adjustments to the design, maybe add some more plastic to the back, just to keep it from tipping backwards when you're trying to type on a flat surface.
It's just not balanced.
Yeah, it's just not balanced right now. I'm not happy with the current end result. So I'll either keep adding to it till I am happy with it, or I will, because of the one side is made specifically for that USB adapter, I will scrap the whole thing and redo it. Which, yeah, that's not a big deal since I've already got all the designs and everything, and then I just need to make changes for whatever pieces I end up adding on. And it'll also give me a chance to have a couple of things hidden away in the base, like I was wanting to do before, such as just an extra SSD, like that, just in that little bottom layer, and it'll add weight to the bottom, which will prevent some of that tipping as well.
Give you a counterbalance.
Other than that, just thinking about that design, trying to get something together for Mintcast, since our last topic fell through at the last minute.
So that hub, so if you just plug it in without it to a different computer or something, it still has that issue?
It's not doing the pass-through charging. I can still use it for like the USB ports,
right?
As long as I don't hook power up to it, because if I hook power up to it, it'll just start blinking. I don't know, it might work if it's just hooked up to a device that only does 5 volt, but how many USB-C devices that'll take this type of thing do you know that only does 5 volt? So, yeah, I can still do data for USB-C, and then I got a USB 3 and then 2 USB 2 that I can use on a device, so it might get hooked up to like a laptop or something, just so that I have more ports. And then like the same thing with this one, except it also uses power for the HDMI, so I can't use the HDMI on this one anymore. So basically, it can do SD cards, micro SD cards, and a USB 2.0 and a USB 3.0.
So that mini computer, is that 5-volt or 12-volt charging?
15.
Oh, well, maybe it's
It
too
will
much
do up
voltage
to
for that
15.
hub.
This is supposed to do up to 100 watt, 60 watt PD pass through. So the 15 should be 60 watt. And this one was rated for 100. It did last a little bit longer, but it eventually died too.
I'm thinking it's just too much power going through there.
But it's rated for that amount of power.
Oh, okay.
I checked before I purchased.
So it's
It
15,
should be able to do it.
15 volts at 3 amps is what it is?
Yes.
No,
4.
4 amps.
4 amps.
That's 60 watts, yeah.
Yep.
And it's rated for that. Huh. I don't know.
So the next one, I will, if I get a different one, different size, I will make sure that it's rated at 100 watts.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Netminer, how's your adventures been with MX Linux? Calling all netminers. What about you, Mortency? Any projects, Podman or otherwise?
So I'm trying to point to a point where I'm running Podman. I have 2 Proxmox servers in the cloud that I'm still trying to figure out VLANs and proxying. I think Minnix, we were using Nginx proxy.
Yeah, Nginx Proxy Manager.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to use that if I can figure it out. And I think
That made things so much easier, man.
I think I'm still having issues with the bridging on Proxmox.
Are you running any VMs yet?
Yes, and I can't access them. And internally, I have one on hardware, and I can access it internally, but not externally. So I think I have some routing issues there. But it's working inside my home network, but not outside.
Right.
And I don't know what I'm doing differently on hardware versus virtual.
Well, I definitely recommend the Nginx Proxy Manager. It just makes everything super simple, and you can even proxy the Proxy Manager itself. And it's really cool. It's just a pretty simple Docker container, and with the web interface that you access locally and set up all your your proxies. And
so to get that to work, I still need to set up firewall rules in my Proxmox
no,
to route to it.
No, you do not. You don't need to set up any rules at all.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Yeah.
And would I run it as a Docker inside of CT?
So I will show you how I have it running, or won't show you, but I'll tell you. I have it running on. Remember that free computer that I got a whole box of them that one time?
Oh no, I don't remember. Oh wait, did you send them all back? Yeah.
Yeah, that. Well, that was pretty. I mean, it's a pretty low power machine. It's just a whatever Pentium or something, and it's. I think it's. Yeah, I think it's. I don't even think it's quad core. I think it's dual core. But I'm using that machine for for only to run Docker and to run Nginx Proxy Manager. That's the only thing I'm using it for, and because it only has 4 gigs of RAM, and but that's plenty for Nginx Proxy Manager. So I run that on there as a what do you call it, a Linux container, LXC, and then within that I just run that npm Nginx Proxy Manager, and then the web interface pops right up, within my local network once I go to the IP address, and I can configure it from there. But it's on its own node, it's on its own computer. It doesn't have to be, though. I used to run it on my main node with all my other VMs and stuff.
So does it have run as a Docker, or could
Yes.
the container just run?
Well, so I have a Docker container, which is Nginx Proxy Manager, running inside of a Linux container, inside of an LXC. But you don't have to do that. You can just create a regular VM too. I mean, it's a little simpler to create a VM. It's just use a little bit more resources, which is not going to be an issue for you. It may be easier.
Yeah. These are the one's the cheapest Windows.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and then the other one is that SSD node.
Because I think
nodes that you recommended.
I only give it a gig of RAM, that LXC, and that's plenty for the for Nginx Proxy Manager to run. So
that's all I have total.
Well, yeah. So you would. Oh, okay.
For
That's all you
Proxmox.
Well, yeah. You cannot do that then, not within Proxmox. But you can run it just on a slimmed down Debian system with Docker installed. I think, but like the net install of Debian and then install Docker, and do it that way. It should be fine. But you can't run Proxmox on it. Not on 1 gigabyte. But let me see. It's taken up 873 megabytes of 1 gigabyte. And that includes the OS itself, Debian, and Docker, and then the Docker container, Nginx Proxy Manager. So I'm doing it with 1 gigabyte. I think you should be able to too. But yeah, it'll make your life a lot easier. It made mine a lot easier. Other than handwriting comps for every domain you got, because they all take different rules and they all use different ports, and a lot of them use different Nginx plugins and things like that. But Proxy Manager, I never really had an issue with it. Nothing major that I couldn't like Google or something. Like Matrix is a little tricky, I think, and a couple other sites. But other than that, there's not really. And it has a special tab. If you need to add additional rules to it, you can do that, like I did for Matrix and some other federated services. But I found all that information online, just Googling it. You could ask ChatGPT. I would like to get into Podman, though.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was striving for with the SSD node was to put Podman on Debian and have see if Netminer and I could work out some getting started instructions before that book comes out.
Oh, look who's on Mumble. Mobile Magoo. What's he saying here? Just listening. Okay. Yeah, he endorses NPM as well, so it definitely will make your life easier. I got a couple of emails from Netminer about his MX Linux stuff. I kind of wanted to talk about that, but he may be away right now.
And didn't earlier he say something about AV Linux?
Yeah, AV Linux. Yeah. Which I didn't even know existed.
Is that like Ubuntu Studio, but for MX?
I guess I don't know. I didn't really look it up or anything. Let's see, AV Linux DistroWatch. AV Linux is a versatile Debian-based distribution featuring a large collection of audio and video production software. Additionally, it also includes a custom kernel with IRQ threading enabled for low latency audio performance. AV Linux can be run directly from a live DVD or live USB storage device, though it can also be installed on a hard disk and used as a general purpose operating system for everyday tasks. So it looks like it has, it's just, it's based on Debian and MX Linux. Okay. So it is MX Linux, but probably with the real-time kernel for audio editing. Have you done any audio projects, Morrissey? I know you had talked about it.
Not recently. All the stuff I've done in the past hasn't worked very well. The dedicated HP Elite desk that I got from HP Lovecraft has, I installed something on it. I thought it was Garuda. It might have been something else. I just need to go buy uh, cable to plug it into the monitor and the drawing screen. And then I can start doing graphics and audio.
You want to start making t-shirt designs and stuff again?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I said, I know I had mentioned it to you before, but I know a guy that's, he's going through some stuff medically, and he still likes to draw and design, and I thought he had some fairly decent designs for shirts. And I'd like to be able to set up a collab with him between you guys.
That'd be. If I don't splurge on a direct garment printer, I'll go through one of the direct to garment printing companies where they'll print them for me with low minimum orders. So you have to have all the t-shirt sizes ahead of time for what you're going to print. That's kind of a big financial commitment, especially when you think about storing all of it.
Yeah, that's what's good about print on demand or having one of those garment inkjets that you can just do it on, do it on demand. You don't have to pre-order anything. I looked at getting one before.
Yeah, I don't know if you can still get them, but one of the guys I know has contacts. He could get the like $25,000 to $50,000 machines that are sold here in the U.S. They're actually, they used to be $1,200 to $2,500 generic large printers in China. Then between multiple middlemen and branding, the price skyrockets. But I don't care about branding.
Yeah.
So I'll go with a generic $1,200 printer.
That, the ones I was looking at were called T-Jet, I believe. I don't know if they're still around, but I went to a comic book convention, and they had a guy that had a T-Jet there that was making shirts up on the spot, and it was neat. It was just a tabletop garment printer, and I even gave him a photo and emailed him a photo from my phone, and he was able to print it on a T-shirt right there. It was cool because it printed white ink as well as the 4-color,
Yeah, Epson has some pretty good price ones right now, which is what big ones and the big ones are behind the scenes are like a $200 Epson color printer that they just switch over for garment with garment ink. The big printers, a lot of the big printers are just Epsons. You're paying the CNC machine. the large chassis.
Mm-hmm.
Is my
what is I keep hearing stuff in the mumble. Oh, try using Cricket. Honkey says, "What's the next movie?" Next movie is My Science Project from 1985.
Crycut.
Crycut, is that what it's called?
Search for that. What is Crycut? Make
Cricut,
smart cutting
the-
machines.
the scrapbooking thing. Yeah, you can cut the vinyl, put it on a screen, and ink a bunch of stuff.
Oh, like traditional screen printing?
Yeah, traditional screen printing with like no overhead at all.
I have a screen printing kit I was given like a long time ago but it uses the developer on the screen, you know, and you put your stencil on it and then you develop it and wash it out. Yeah, photo emulsion. It's like this green stuff you put on there. I made a couple of shirts.
Yeah, it's expired.
It works good with single colors, but like if you don't have one of those rotating frames, you know, trying to get the colors to line up.
I have a rotating frame.
Yeah, it's hard without that to get them to line up.
Yeah, if I do more than one color, it's just going to be a direct-to-garment printer.
Yeah.
I gave up on the screen part of that.
Yeah, well, you need to make some Lugcast shirts.
Yeah. So how about a call out to the listeners for a Lugcast t-shirt design?
Yeah. And people, you guys that are listening to this need to start using that email. And I don't know if Honkey's ever gotten emails, at least not lately. Have you, Honkey? Let's see if he answers.
Both people that are going to listen to this.
There's more than two.
Need to start using that email. We
have over 40 views on one of our videos on YouTube. I'll have you
over
know.
40.
We are right up there in the mid double digits, baby. But people, yeah, I would love for people to email the show and just tell us what you think. Ideas for Lugcast logos or designs for T-shirts would be great.
Yeah, if it's single color for a T-shirt, I'll buy a Cricut and I'll have it ready to go on the screen, and I would be able to print different color shirts, different color sizes with single color different ink. Like
we have a logo.
People wanted red on orange and yellow on pink or whatever combination.
Yeah,
that'd be
go
easy
crazy.
to do with the Cricut. Yeah.
Oh, the little penguin. That is our logo. I forgot about that.
I was going to say we should make it a neck beard.
Just a giant beard.
And we could get some pins printed too.
Yeah.
But send out Lugcast pins with T-shirts.
A penguin with a neck beard. That would be a good one.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. I would love to get a table at like a Linux Fest, you know. We could do a Mintcast, Lugcast, split a table together or something. And HBR, evangelize the miracle of Linux podcasting. That'd be fun.
Well, if Texas Linux Fest comes back this way.
Yeah, they're doing like Austin now, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they usually do Austin. It was unusual for them to do
Irving.
The Dallas-Fort Worth. Yeah, Irving. So that's why I was all over going to it.
I haven't looked at the website. I don't know what the plans are for the next one.
Probably Austin.
Yeah. That's the cool part of Texas.
That's the more liberal part of Texas.
It's just weird. Keep Austin weird. That's the slogan they have down there.
Why isn't the Southeast Linux Fest posted for 2023?
Is that the one in South Carolina or North Carolina or something?
North Carolina.
North
Charlotte,
Carolina?
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Jeremy said in one of the closing talks that that's planned out a year in advance. So when the event is over, the next year is already done being planned.
Really? And you don't see anything on the website, huh?
Nope, it says 2022, which I was not allowed to go to because I just got out of surgery.
Let me see.
I was told I couldn't drive that long and I couldn't fly.
Well, there's probably a reason for that.
Because I would probably stroke out from the anesthesia.
All countries. I'm looking on the Linux Foundation's website here.
All countries?
Well, they had a filter here for where you want to see Linux conferences, and they've got a bunch in Vancouver, San Francisco. Oh, but these are Linux Foundation events. These aren't really Linux. Let me see. Linux.
Like, really, the last information on Texas Linux Fest that I'm finding is from like 2020.
Oh, here, Joe, on their Twitter, it says we're starting to look for.
Yeah, I did see that too.
We're starting to look for dates in spring of 2023. But that's
when
all
was
they have.
that posted? Because I'm not seeing that actual tweet when I click on the link.
Just on the search, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, Twitter, I don't want to join. Okay, July 2nd, 2022. Watch this space for more info as we get confirmed. That's all we have.
Yeah.
Can't wait till 2023. Come hang out with us in LA at our sister conference. Scale.
Find Festival. August 2023, Texas Linux Fest 2023, Austin Convention Center, 500 East Cesar Chavez Street, Austin, Texas.
Okay, so you found that for the Texas Linux Fest?
I found it, but this is definitely not what I would consider a solid source.
Yeah, you're right, Mortensey. The last update for Southeast is 2022.
I posted in the Matrix chat for Southeast Linux Fest and asked if a date had been set for this year.
Linux Fest Northwest is in Bellingham.
Does that exist?
They have one in Washington, Linux Fest Northwest.
I thought that was over.
It's in October 20 through 22nd, 2023 at Bellingham Technical College. If you look up Linux Fest Northwest. Ooh, that would be cool to go to Washington State. Features presentations and exhibits on free and open source topics, as well as Linux distributions and applications, InfoSec and privacy, something for everyone from the novice to the professional. Let us know you're coming. So I guess they don't have any kind of tickets or anything yet. Just let me look at their blog here. Nothing there. It's just got a date. We are now accepting proposals for sessions. Partners, Jupiter Broadcasting, and a community partners. That's it. OLF 2022. What is that? There's a one. If you go to linuxfest.org, There's one called ShellCon. Oh, it's a security conference in LA. Okay. Well, I guess we could always make a field trip up to Washington.
Penguicon?
At Northwest Linux Fest in Washington State, in October. Ooh, there's a good movie on now, Logan's Run. Hadn't seen this in a long time.
The age 21?
Oh, for the Northwest Linux Fest?
No, confront. Wasn't it at a certain age?
Oh, that you're killed. I thought it was like 30 or something.
Yeah, I think it's 30. You report to Carousel.
It's got Farrah Fawcett. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. So the closest to you guys, Lovecraft, would be. I wonder which one that would be.
Ohio Linux Fest.
Ohio, for sure. Yeah. I'm right outside of Philadelphia, but in New Jersey.
Oh, okay. So the Ohio Linux Fest. I think I'm taking a vacation in the summer. I'll be in Colorado, but I don't think I have anything planned for October. That would be fun. Yeah, the last month of July is when I'll be in Colorado. But other than that, no plans. September, I think we're going to go down to Padre Island for my birthday. So October 20 through 22nd. That can't be right. Oh, okay, yeah, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That is right. I'll put it on my calendar now. I love the Pacific Northwest. All right, it's on the calendar, so I have to go. That's the criteria. Lovecraft, have you been doing anything with computers or technology or anything at all?
Nothing outside of work.
Yeah.
Had a pretty big software upgrade Monday to Monday night, which then turned into Tuesday and a little bit of Wednesday. So,
Oh, wow.
Kind of spent.
Was it longer than you expected?
So, some of it was expected. Some of it was dealing with a vendor and them not having their act together and causing a lot of problems. Multi-billion-dollar company that can't get their shit together.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does.
Inconceivable.
Sounds familiar. Netminer, are you there yet? No. Well, we can always look at the subreddit. I don't think there's much going on in there. Let's see. Honkey's got something here. He said nope. We do have a couple things. We'll start from the bottom. Let's see when's oh, okay. The oldest one is ChatGPT, Linux Assistant, an AI assistant in your CLI, but it knows what's on your system and it can help you get things done.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Oh, but when I go to the GitHub, it says page not found. I guess it's already over with. That didn't last long. That was just posted just over a week ago. Netminer's here. Okay, he must be having audio problems. Honkey said no, he wouldn't do that. What else we got? Go to social. Oh, I found this. Somebody had mentioned it in the Mastodon Matrix channel. If you want to run like an activity pub server, you know, to connect to Mastodon or any Fediverse, anything that's connected via the activitypub protocol. It's called Go to Social, and it's very lightweight, and you can run it on anything from just a regular computer to a Raspberry Pi. System requirements. Let's see here. A single user instance with about 100 followers uses somewhere between 50 to 100 megabytes of RAM. CPU usage is only intensive when handling media. Runs pretty well on a Raspberry Pi. It's been tested on a Raspberry Pi Zero as well, but it's not quite able to run on that. It should run on a Raspberry Pi Zero W2. So that's kind of cool. What else do we got? Oh, here's some FlatHub drama. Linux desktop leaders unite behind FlatHub App Store. I kind of want to get Joe's input on this too. But I don't know where he's at.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay, you're back.
What, on FlatHub?
It says Linux desktop leaders unite behind FlatHub App Store. Here's why. So I wonder if this has anything to do with the whole Snap fiasco recently with Ubuntu.
No, there's another fiasco with FlatHub.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, and Ubuntu. Basically, Ubuntu told all the official variants that if they wanted to stay official variants, then they could not offer FlatHub out of the box.
Right, by default.
By default. So it doesn't mean much except that if you want FlatHub, then you have to go install it. But it was still, Ubuntu putting their foot down about the official variants.
So I guess this is not really tied into that because it says one reason why there are so many Linux desktops is that there's endless disagreement on what makes the best desktop. Now Gnome and KDE are exploring the idea of uniting using Flatpak to create a Linux desktop app store. From what I understand, this will even have like paid apps within it. Let's see. One such problem is how can you find, install, and be certain any given program will work on your desktop? They're relying on Flatpak, a universal Linux software deployment and package management program, to achieve this goal.
Hey, Honkey, the exact same way that every other application installing store that we have, united everything.
Well, I think that's kind of a missaying. What they're trying to say is like, having some programs available as a deb, some as RPMs, but Flatpak kind of sets itself apart by being able to run on any OS, Linux OS, as long as you have Flatpak installed.
Now, isn't that the exact same thing for like Snap and app images? And,
Yeah, that's its
okay.
rivals, it says here.
Okay.
So, but everybody seems to be pushing Flatpak ahead of App Image and Snap, except for Ubuntu, of course. Elementary OS has been experimenting with a pay-what-you-can app store, but because it is specific to a handful or a single Linux distro, it was never that attractive to users or developers. So I think the main deal about this is they're adding payments and donations and subscriptions to the FlatHub App Store. And it's being developed by GNOME and KDE. Honkey says, App Image doesn't have a store. That's right. It says, why Flatpak instead of its chief rival, Snaps? FlatHub is a vendor-neutral service for Linux application developers to build and publish their applications directly to their end users. A healthy application ecosystem is essential for the success of the open source software desktop. Canonical Ubuntu and Snap's parent company isn't in the least bit fond of Flatpak, which originally sprang from Canonical rival Red Hat. Indeed, Canonical recently decided that neither Ubuntu nor its variants such as Kubuntu, Lubuntu, and Ubuntu Studio will support Flatpak. You'll still be able to add Flatpak to any of these distributions. You just won't have Flatpak built into the Ubuntu family. The Flatpak store supporters state our largest competitor in the Linux App Store space is Canonical Snap Store, which sits under the control of one corporate entity rather than a community-controlled nonprofit, requiring copyright assignments for contributions to both Snap and the store, and effectively making it very hard or unappealing to run your own stores. FlatHub now offers over 2,000 apps from over 1,500 GitHub collaborators. It's averaging 700,000 app downloads per day with 898 million HTTP requests totaling 88.3 terabytes served by its content delivery network every day. So once again, it looks like adding some kind of financial or monetary support to the FlatHub store is the big story here. They say if there is no financial payback for participating in developing apps for the free and open source desktop, we will lose many people in the process, despite the amazing achievements of those who have brought us to where we are today. As a result, we'll have far fewer developers and apps. If we can't offer access to a growing base of users or the opportunity to offer something of monetary value to them, the reward in terms of adoption and possible payment will be very small. Which haven't they been saying that since open source was conceived? Like, hasn't that always been kind of the gripe? Is that if we don't start paying these developers, then we won't have open source software anymore? But that's never.
You don't pay for the things you like.
Yeah,
they won't be there.
But that's never really come to fruition. You know, open source is still here. I would argue that it's probably more popular now than ever.
It doesn't mean you shouldn't pay for the things that you like.
That's true. I have no qualms with that. You should absolutely at least donate to software developers that you use their software. What else we got? System 76 Meerkat Alder Lake Linux Mini PC ships with Ubuntu 2204 or Pop! OS 2204. I think this is their first mini PC, System 76.
I don't remember any others. Doesn't mean there haven't been.
It's pretty sweet. It's got the System 76 logo on the case. It comes with the 12th gen Alder Lake or 11th gen Tiger Lake or 10th gen Comet Lake family, depending on what model. All models support up to 64 gigabytes of RAM, M.2 storage, and are equipped with 4 HDMI DisplayPort video outputs, Ethernet, and USB ports. Let's see, what are some of the specs here? They have different series. The P series comes with an i3, 12th gen i3, 5th or 12th gen i5 or 12th gen i7. It comes with 64 gigabytes of DDR4. They have a short model and a tall model. The tall model supports 2.5-inch SATA drive.
Yeah, but if you're using Mini, aren't you going to go with the M.2?
Okay, the P series is the 12th gen Alder Lake. The Mir 5 is the Comet Lake, which is 10th gen, and Mir 6 is Tiger Lake, which is 11th gen. The price for a Meerkat Linux Mini PC starts at $499 for a model based on a 10th gen i3 processor with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabyte SSD. That's pretty steep, $500. But you're supporting open source. Here's one from a user named Real Guarantee. I don't know who that could be. How to protect your Linux PC from network threats with opensnitch. Honkey says he sucks. Keep your data safe from intruders by implementing the graphical opensnitch firewall on your Linux machine. OpenSnitch is an easy-to-use GUI firewall application for Linux that captures all outgoing network connections and gives you the choice of how to handle them. That's nice to have a GUI. Says, why use OpenSnitch? Firewalls on Linux can be tricky. I won't argue with that. Built-in Linux firewall is IP tables. Most Linux distros come with UFW, which is nice. OpenSnitch makes Linux firewalls easy. How to install. It's available for Debian and Fedora-based systems, i386, AMD 64, ARM 63. That must be ARM 64 and ARM HF. It's just a deb or a RPM package, or you can install it via Python with pip. Desktop firewall. It would be cool to have this as a web service that you can access in a browser. Say if you wanted to put this on a server or something. All right. I guess we're not going to hear from Netminer tonight.
Probably not.
Hello?
Oh, there he is.
Joe, I can't hear you.
I can hear him. Can you hear me?
What did I do?
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you guys.
You're not lighting up, Joe.
I can hear you, Netminer.
Oh, yeah, you are. What did I do?
I just had some microphone troubles.
Okay, well, I can
Am
hear
I
you
lighting
just fine
up?
now.
I'm lighting up.
Yeah, we can hear you, Minnix, but
I
you
can't
hear us.
anybody.
We can hear you.
Stop it, Mortensey. Luckily,
You
I'm
can't
still
hear us?
lighting up, so I can't hear you guys for some reason.
I can't hear you,
but it's still
Mortensey.
recording. Let's see. Can you hear me on there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you hear us?
Did I mute something?
Yeah, you must have. Or you broke your headphones.
I'm going to restart my headphones. Hang on.
Yeah, I laughed too. Can you hear us now? No, we can't hear you either now.
Testing, testing. Can you
Yep,
hear me?
now we can hear you.
I still can't hear anybody here.
You can't hear us though. Awesome. It gets better and better.
That's so weird.
What's weird about it? You got a volume on that headset?
Well, you guys go ahead and talk while I figure this out. I think Honkey sent me a virus.
That seems likely. He's known for doing that. Okay, well, what were we discussing here?
Test, test.
Nope, can't hear you. Can you hear us? Nobody's moving the links we're talking about over? Reddit. Okay. And let me go to Linux Lugcast. Help a brother out. What you need? Okay, how to protect your Linux PC from network threats with OpenSnitch.
Okay,
Already
I can
talked
hear
about that.
YouTube.
System
I
76,
just can't hear
Meerkat,
mumble.
Alder Lake. Oh, you can't hear mumble? Linux desktop leaders unite behind flatpak app. We already talked about that. ChatGPT. Tunnel Mole client. Tunnel Mole. Connect to local servers from anywhere. Have we discussed that? Mortency? I missed a bunch of the show because I had to yell at children.
I think that's where Minnix started and worked his way up.
Oh, okay. So we've basically done everything then.
I believe so.
Awesome. No more links. And we can all go for a nap. We didn't talk about Tunnel Mole. Tunnel Mole, that's the one I was just on. Tunnel Mole, connect to local servers from anywhere. So this is like a VPN, but not. Okay, so here's Tunnel Mole. Tunnel Mole is a simple tool to give your local running HTTP server a public URL. For example, you could get a public URL for a web server, a Docker container, an API, a React or Node application, or a static website. So something like my audio bookshelf, which is running locally. Instead of doing port forwarding, I could use Tunnel Mole. So you could have your application running locally on port 8080, then by running tmol 8080, you could have a URL such as df34.tunnelmole.com, routing to your local running application. So it's similar to a tool known as ngrok, but it's open source. And if you're using the default configuration, you can get HTTPs for free. Which is nice.
I figured it out.
I should try this one. Figured out your problem?
Yeah, in my volume panel, I had the mumble application muted for some reason. I don't even know how that happened. I mean, it was still recording and everything.
You don't like us, that's what happened.
No.
You just wanted to hear yourself talk.
Honky said we didn't talk about Tunnel Mole. Did y'all talk about Tunnel Mole?
I'm talking about it right now. I was explaining it. So I had just gotten through the general overview of what Tunnel Mole is, and I think it's cool, and I might even try it and see what I can set up, if I can just set up like my audio bookshelf on it, just even if it's just real quick.
Oh yeah, I know about Tunnel Mole. We talked about that in Matrix or somewhere. I'm not sure.
What is it that you use for?
I think I brought it up, Tunnel Mole.
For accessing local stuff from remote instead of port forwarding.
Nginx Proxy Manager.
Yeah, you use proxies.
Yeah, Yeah, I think we did talk about this. Okay.
So I think this is an alternative to proxies.
Yes. It just creates an SSH tunnel, I think.
Which is cool.
But it's only doesn't it only handle one application, like one port? Or can it handle more than?
I don't know. This is my first time seeing it. I mean,
Oh, okay. Did I put it in the? I thought I put it in the Reddit. Maybe not. No. Oh yeah, there it is. Tunnel mall. I don't know how I skipped
so
that.
you can set the port.
Yeah, it gives you a public URL. So yeah, I guess you can do it for multiple applications. You just give a random URL to each app, whatever port. As long as you don't have the same port, multiple applications on the same port, you should be okay.
That's something to try. And then I take it the output is showing you what the public IP would be. Here's what it should look like. Tmol, like here it says 8080, and then it gives you the address http/blah blah 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 blah.
Where do you
forwarding to localhost.
But how do they come up with? Does TunnelMole come up with that address with that URL? Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the free version. I did think they mentioned something else. So cross-device testing, hop on another computer or device running the same or different OS, then hit the public URL TunnelMole generated for you.
Oh,
so it
okay.
does generate it for you.
So you're using a subdomain of tunnelmole.com of their
Right.
DNS. I got you. Okay, that's how it works, which is cool.
Now I'm not seeing where you can like do your own or anything, but I think they did mention that there was a way to do your own.
Did you say they're free version? So does that mean there's a paid version too?
That's what I'm looking for.
Oh.
Because that's what they mentioned.
Huh.
If you are using the default configuration, you will get an HTTPS URL for free. So that implies that there's a non-free version.
Says, in the past, TunnelMole servers did hide IP addresses. Unfortunately, this encouraged bad actors to use the service. They would tunnel phishing sites to the service, then the abuse reports would get sent to my hosting provider instead of theirs.
Okay. TunnelMole will start in the background and you will see output in the console, similar to TunnelMole command line application, which will include the public URLs that now point your application. The function is async and won't block execution of the rest of your code. If you want to use a custom subdomain, you could also pass the domain as an option.
I gotcha. It says for the randomly generated URLs, your IP is also added to the URL itself. I guess this is to discourage bad actors. It says you can always self-host TunnelMole and remove the code that adds this header if you want. This would allow you to hide your origin server. You'll then be responsible for securing your service. Well, if you're going to do that, you might as well just run your own proxy. Give it a try, Joe. Right now.
Yes, sir.
Honkey put me in charge, so you have to do what I say.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I'm the head honky in charge.
Uh-huh. I'm all over it.
And I have to do what Buster says. He's the head cat in charge. He said I have to give him scratches right now. Oh, guess what I'm doing tomorrow?
Hating yourself.
Nope. I do that every day.
Oh.
I am going to something really nerdy. A knife show in Fort Worth.
Tomorrow I'm trying to come up with a topic and write up the innards for Mintcast, which is on Sunday.
What time do y'all start the show Sunday?
2 p.m.
Yeah, Netminer's definitely having some audio problems, I think. I guess
All
I'll
right.
just have to email us.
Email.
Oh, did you get it installed?
Uh-huh. And I am giving it a shot.
What service are you going to use with it?
Oh, I
Audio
was going to
bookshelf?
use, yeah, because it's all already set up. I was just going to use my audio bookshelf. And yeah, it works. It works great.
How are you testing it?
Logging into, well, they give you the public address.
I mean, but access it outside of your network, like on your phone or something.
Okay.
That's the real test.
Is it though?
Yes.
Because I can see the URL here. How about I take this URL and I dump it into my
Matrix chat?
No. I have this VM which has its own VPN.
Okay.
And I'll use that. Oh, I need to copy while it's not locked. Yeah, brought it up.
Nice. Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And you didn't even have to forward that port on your router, right?
Correct. Did not. Just ran tmol and then put in the port on that and it just worked.
Sweet. It's HTTPS?
Mine is set up with HTTP, so
What happens if you put an S in front of that?
let me try the HTTPS. Yeah.
All right. Nice. Got a secure connection. Don't even need to run certbot.
And it does show it as secure.
All right. That's pretty cool. They must have a wildcard cert for that domain. It just covers everything.
How do I kill it? Oh, I know how to kill it. With fire!
Yeah, Netminer just disconnected. Looks like he's not going to be able to join us tonight. That's too bad. He actually had some stuff to talk about.
Now, I think that the problem will be at that point if you're using their stuff is that it's not going to be static. It's going to be something new generated every time.
Oh, whenever you run TunnelMole, it'll call up a new URL.
Yeah, it will generate a different one.
Well, you could always run it in screen in the background.
Yeah, and which is great until you have to restart your computer.
Just don't restart your computer. You're running Linux.
Things happen, and you end up, especially here in Texas lately with the power grid the way it's been, okay?
Why don't you have your own power grid?
Do you have your own?
I don't need one.
You have almost as many computers as I do.
I have a Nginx proxy manager that always gives me the same URL.
Okay, you asked me to test this out. I tested it out. Okay, UPS is great for powering down. A UPS is not great for leaving your server turned off for any significant amount of time.
Yeah, sometimes our outages last quite a while here because of our shitty infrastructure. Which reminds me, I replaced the batteries in my UPS.
Well, how long does your UPS keep your main computer running?
To tell you the truth, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just go pay the several grand for the Tesla Powerwall. How's that sound?
Let me see which model I have. Because I was going to buy these batteries from APC, like the OEMs, but man, they were like 5 times as much as the aftermarket batteries. Oh, I can't read it.
Just look in the chat.
Is that Netminer? Did you get your audio issues worked out?
I don't trust any of the solar installers right now, or I would love to get solar. I would love to get solar or wind. I'd prefer actually wind, like the wind trees, but the extremely expensive, and it doesn't really add to the overall value of your home.
Just put it in your garage while you're talking. You got lots of hot air coming out of there.
Right, but that's beside the point. I know I'm full of hot air, but no. Between the two, I think I could power the house probably pretty well. But it's, like I said, really expensive. It doesn't add to the overall value of the home, and I don't like the way the owners of the Texas power grid have collected money from the U.S. government in order to update our infrastructure, and then turn around, kept that money, and told us that it's our responsibility to put in solar panels on our homes.
Yeah, where'd all that money go anyway? Anybody know?
Into people's pockets. Into people's pockets. Yeah. It went into the ads that they put out to tell us that we need to, put solar on.
Oh,
I agree, Honkey, get out of Texas. But right now, with the way that the job market is, I have my concerns. In the banking sphere.
One day we will escape.
Right.
Yeah, there was kind of a
run on banks.
A very small news story about banking recently.
Oh yeah, super small. Nobody heard it.
I only found it on every single news site that I went to
Every single one.
For the past week or so.
Because the Democrats are blaming the Republicans, and the Republicans are trying to blame the Democrats by saying that it was the wokest bank ever, and that's why it failed. No.
That's That's a very weird accusation to make. What does that even have to do with anything?
Woke doesn't have an actual definition, I don't think, so they can throw it at whatever they want to try and redirect blame. But no, it actually came to the deregulation that happened during the Trump era. But
also, the tech layoffs didn't help.
The tech layoffs did not
90% of the bank's customers were tech employees that got laid off, and then all of a sudden they're withdrawing.
Well, no, because SVB didn't actually, do things like pay individuals. It did impact payroll, but what happened is SVB provides loans and money to tech businesses, usually smaller tech businesses, startups, things like that. And they had taken in money, and they were using that to hold on to
10-year bonds.
Bonds that were making like a very small percentage, which was a good thing to have several years ago. It's like 1.7%, which was what the interest rate was at the time. And then the interest rate shot up and shot up and shot up and shot up. And so you have these bonds that are not making as much money as they could. So what they were going to do was sell off those bonds and then purchase new bonds, which were making at 5 point whatever %. people saw them selling these bonds and thought that there was a major problem, and so they made a run at the bank, pulling out their money left and right, and pulling it out and pulling it out and pulling it out, until this bank did not have the money to continue providing to all the people that were pulling out their money, or to continue paying these small companies that were using that money for their payroll.
Well,
So,
the good thing, or I guess one positive about it is if you were just a depositor, you were covered by FDIC. Now, if you were using the bank as investment, you're kind of screwed.
if you were using the bank itself, so if you were invested in the bank's profits, you lost. They did not get a bailout. But everybody else, the federal government came in and said, we're taking this over. Everybody will have their money for payroll. The only people that aren't getting bailed out are the people that, made the risk of the investment of SVB itself. And there was two other banks that had issues. Yeah, there were two other banks that had issues, and
yeah, it was that one that Barney Frank is the head of. What's it called?
Suis or something like that.
No,
I'm
not
trying to
that
remember.
one. It starts with an I.
Right. There was another bank that completely failed, and then there was a one that had a lot of problems with being run on, but did not completely fail, and that was the Suis or something like that. I don't have the details on those two, but the details on the SVB was just friggin' huge.
Signature
and
Bank.
Everywhere.
That was the other bank, Signature Bank.
And honestly, after two banks failed like that, I was expecting a lot more market volatility. You did see some downslope when it came to banks in general, but not as much as I would have expected. And things did stay pretty stable. The government stepped in right away and made sure that people got paid.
Now, you didn't notice that we have a comedian in the mumble chat over here, did you?
No, not if they were talking about this one.
You see that?
Yeah, your pullout game is great. Oh, Netminer, did you get your audio stuff sorted?
Yeah, it's been going in and out.
Well, we've attempted to ask you a couple times now about MX Linux. I mean, I could go on about banking all day because that's kind of what I do, but we want to hear about MX.
Well, MX I've been using on another machine as a daily driver. I'm going to be installing it on 2 more machines this weekend since I got the hardware SSDs to do it. And I like the improved XFCE. I like the tools. I really haven't been doing that much fantastic. I've been doing some writing for personal stuff and thinning out some of my backups with early starter versions of stuff that I've written, trying to get down to a canonical set that I can move forward with. But that's what I've been doing lately.
Now, what was the issue you were having with Secure Boot?
Well, MX will install on my machine, which I had thought I disabled Secure Boot on. However, I guess there's a watchdog in there that I can't disable. So when I tried to boot MX, it would say this application is not verified, and it would just lock up.
So even with Secure Boot turned off, you still couldn't boot into MX Linux?
Yeah. I could use Mint on that machine because Mint has the signature module to deal with whatever rump of secure boot was still enabled.
Honkey says, have you used any of the MX tools?
I've used a few of them, not extensively. Again, I haven't used that machine as much as I had planned because I've been doing more writing and non-Linux stuff with it and using it for media. I am going to be swapping over this Mint machine to a to a upgraded Mini with MX on it. Then I'll MX this machine, this quad core non-hyper-threaded machine later.
Honkey just pasted a Spanish link into the mumble chat. It may give you a virus, so watch out for that.
Yeah, my machine doesn't have its flu shot.
You're not vaxxed. He says it pulls up in English. He thought you meant MX Linux as in Mexican Linux, but that's not what it means.
No, it's the bigger brother of Anti-X Linux.
So you think this is going to be your pretty much your distro of choice now, MX Linux? Sticking with it?
It's going to be my distro of choice on things where I have the choice of running it.
Right.
My big gaming machine just has, I can't dig in deep enough to disable secure boot further. Also, recent power bills means that the big gaming machine may be treated like a desktop and run sparingly.
Have you been doing any Raspberry Pi stuff?
No, although as a side effect of some of my explorations with MX, there is a Pi version which I might try. It's an unofficial spin, but I might try it again.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I have a Pi that I may make into a 24/7 server because it runs very low power. I'm really looking forward to the time when Pi costs come out of the stratosphere.
Well, they said there's should be more. They said there's going to be a lot more supply. So, Honky said, what type of server?
Basically, it would be a backup machine with a couple of SSDs or disks on it. something that I could leave running, so I could do a backup on anything that maybe Open Media Vault would be possible. But I'm just looking at it as you know, very low powered, so that I could, at the end of a session, drop some stuff over there to isolate each day's work or whatever off of the machine where I'm writing the stuff.
He mentioned C-File. C-File is pretty good. And I know you can install it via Unohost too.
I may look into that. I'm going to have to look into that, or Casa OS. Unohost seems to be more designed for external access, and I'm definitely going to be looking for a more in-house only server solution. Open Media Vault is possible. It's only a 2 gig Pi that I have spare. So I'm going to have to get a slim system, but I'll find something down the road. Right now, I'm getting up my MX boxes, swapping them around so that I have been thinking about Nextcloud for a lot of things. I'll have to see. Haven't installed it yet. I'm also looking at simply using Cockpit, which is a server management system, which may give me most of what I want. The federating is actually what I'm not really looking for.
He wants to keep it all internal, right?
Yes. I mean, once I have one instance up, I might put up an instance that I would federate, but it wouldn't be the one that I'm keeping my personal stuff on. Yeah, actually, I may move stuff around so that I free up my 8 gig Pi for other use, but I appreciate the offer. And again, the only pain about freeing up the 8 gig Pi is the all my machines are caching their depths off of it, so I'd have to change that address or something. I also have a nice laptop that I'm going to be putting MX on, and I may use that as my radio host, especially since I can. This laptop is small, reasonably portable, and would mean that I could shift it around to do the radio stuff, even offline around here. I have 2 Pi 4s and a Pi 400. The Pi 400 was flaky, having problems getting it to boot reliably, or I'd use it more as a server or remote machine. I may try another power supply with it, but it may be that it just has a flaky power connection. The Pi 400, I'm afraid, does not necessarily have the same quality as a Pi 4 as far as some of the components.
The great thing about Pis is that you can just pull out the SD card and put it in another Pi.
Haven't we already discussed your pullout game?
Well, anything else going on?
I got nothing.
I got nothing else. I don't know what happened to Mordency. Just disappeared. Netminer, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I was thinking of using this laptop as a mobile machine, but come to think about it, I may not want to risk something that expensive off the property. I'd hate to. There's not much that I could get that I don't have with my own networking, and I don't want to encrypt everything so that it could be safe if lost.
Honkey said just don't walk away from it. Where would you take it? Like to the library or something?
Yeah, there's a library. Well, there's a library that's a bus ride away that I was thinking of. But then I'd also have to think about getting a VPN because I wouldn't want to run my internet service naked on communal internet. Yep, they might have faster internet, and I have used their stuff before. Actually, I have some old single cores or other machines that I could use as expendables, but I have to think about that.
Man, this guy just got cut up by a bunch of lasers. You ever seen Logan's Run, Netminer?
I may have seen it some years ago.
It's pretty good. Farrah Fawcett. It's on TV right now. That's the one where once you turn 30, you have to be retired. Society puts you to death.
Resident Evil had everybody getting cut up by lasers too.
You ever seen that movie, The Cube? Where they're in that maze? Doesn't it? I think it has part with the laser beams go through that guy and he just falls into slices.
Oh, something. It's been a long
There's
time
3
since I
of them.
watched that. Yeah.
Is there? Wow.
The Cube movies.
I guess I've just seen the first one where they're in that maze trying to get out. It's got all those traps in there.
They got the autistic kid that can figure out the safe rooms are the ones with the what was it? Different numbers. I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Oh, by the way, if you think Logan's Run is entirely impossible, Canada has implemented government-supported euthanasia.
Once you turn 30, you have to be euthanized.
No, but
there's a couple of countries that have legal euthanasia.
And one old man was misdiagnosed with something, and he was euthanized, and they found out that what they had used as an excuse to euthanize him was not what he had, and he could have been cured.
Look, there are also some people that, if they are not given that option, are going to live for years in absolute agony and don't want to.
Who was that fantasy or sci-fi author that had some kind of terminal illness and?
Walt Disney?
No. Was it Terry Pratchett?
He did.
One of them made a documentary about
Isn't Walt Disney cryogenically frozen, or his head cryogenically frozen?
has nothing to do with Disney. I think it was Terry Pratchett. Let me see how he died.
Did Terry Pratchett have some kind of very aggressive Alzheimer's? And
That's what it is.
yeah.
Yeah, and so before it got too crazy, yeah, okay, I'm looking at it now. He made this kind of documentary series on the BBC about his chronicling his condition and stuff. I remember he also did. He made an appearance on this documentary about euthanasia, about this. It was like Norway or Sweden or something where people were going to kill themselves, where it was legal. And he had talked about being going to that country before it gets too late. And they showed this this British couple. They were older, but the man, he was okay for now, but he had some kind of nerve disorder that he was degenerating, and there was no cure for it. And so he didn't want to be like a burden to his wife. So him and his wife went to this clinic there, and they just gave him this, like these two little drinks that look like these little shot glasses. He drank one, and then he drank the second one, and then she sat next to him on the couch, and he just kind of fell asleep, and then he just died. It was crazy to see. Like, I was like, man, I don't think I'd ever have the guts to do that. You know, before you even showing his symptoms, he just like, I don't want my wife to have to be, you know, take care of me when I'm old and stuff, or I don't want to be a burden to my wife. I was like, man, I don't think I could do that. He really loved his wife.
I know that one of my mother's caregivers, while she had Alzheimer's, was said that she was thinking in that way. She'd seen too many people go down the long, slow road of Alzheimer's, and she wanted to get out from under before the while she still had her identity or whatever.
That's probably my biggest fear, is like losing not so much my body but my mind, like beginning to forget everything and just forget your family and things like that. Honkey said he'd rather just be a burden. No, that's too bad. If that happens, Honkey, we're just going to come to your house and put a pillow on your head. He said every day is a new day. Screw that. Nah, I don't know. I mean, I think people should be able to do it. I just don't know if I could do it.
Exactly.
He said, "Why not?" Well, what about your family, Honkey? Hey, you better not answer that. You get in trouble.
No.
Oh man, Pratchett went downhill. I was reading about it. He said that it became where he is too difficult to sign books, and then he had to he had to use speech recognition software to write because he couldn't use his hands anymore, and he donated like most of his money to the Alzheimer research.
They'll put you in a home before they wipe your butt every day.
Yeah, nobody's going to be wiping your ass. You just keep telling yourself that.
As long as somebody's doing the wiping, you're good.
Yeah, well, more depressing than the increase in Alzheimer's is the fact that there's some demographic stuff which looks pretty shitty. No pun intended. Where evidently teaching women for 70 years not to have kids is not good for your population.
Oh, okay. The name of that documentary he did, I'm a pretty big Terry Pratchett fan. It's called Terry Pratchett Choosing to Die. It was really good. It's very sad. I watched it, but he was only 66 when he died from Alzheimer's. That's crazy.
As someone who's going to be entering that glorious year reasonably soon,
Oh, don't say that.
could we move to something more pleasant than?
Yeah. Why don't we just? I'm all depressed now. Somebody tell me a funny joke or something.
Your face.
No, that's something everybody wants to see.
Now, I sent out.
I got your email, by the way.
Yeah, did you get the one with Terry with Bobby with an I?
Yeah.
Did that remind you of our favorite weightlifter?
You mean the one that's on the show?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you get his emails, Joe?
Nope. Am I supposed to?
Well, I guess you're not on the official Lugcast mailing list.
I guess not.
Too bad for you.
It's not a Lugcast mailing list. It's just the addresses that I have. I don't have Joe's address.
Oh, I forgot I wasn't supposed to tell Joe that we have a mailing list. I'm supposed to keep that secret.
And now I know.
Yeah, you're not one of the cool kids.
Well, just look up Phil Vassar's Bobby with an I. It will show you about a guy who really works the system.
Oh, I think I'm done drinking coffee for tonight.
You drink weak coffee anyway.
Yeah, but it makes me go to the bathroom. When you get old, you have to go to the bathroom a lot already as it is. You put coffee in the mix, and then you're really messed up.
From Phil Vassar, you said?
Oh, I forgot to put these cucumbers in the fish tank.
Yes, Phil Vassar's Bobby with an I think.
Oh, I submitted a HBR episode, by the way. If anybody wants to listen to that. Also, there's more New Year episodes coming up on the calendar. What's it about? Well, you just have to listen and find out. How you like that? How you like them apples?
I'm listening to it right now.
It's about aquariums, how to set up a natural aquarium. So, if that interests you, have a listen. Buster's on it. He makes an appearance. He was bothering me while I try to record it.
I had a good buddy who was a real hippie and a deadhead, but I could tell you about setting up fish tanks and underground filter.
That's a big guy to only be benching 335. I'm just going to say that.
Joe thinks he's so tough.
Well, 335 is bitch numbers. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but then again, that's a number that that probably was chosen for its rhyming value instead of its real world value.
Don't listen to Joe. He doesn't know.
I don't know about weightlifting.
He doesn't know about anything. He just
That's probably true.
sits around Drinks energy drinks and pulls on his beard all day.
That's true. Yep. That's like 98% true.
Mm-hmm. That's all he does.
Oh, that reminds me. My plan for this coming week, besides aging terribly, is
You're about to be that age? Did you say? Is that your next birthday?
that will be my next birthday. After next week. But what I have just acquired is a beard trimmer that's going to help me mow my face before I get mistaken for Bigfoot.
You have a beard going on? Big beard?
Well,
like Joe's?
Big enough, not, and it's been allowed to grow wild as insulation for the winter, and since the winter is coming to an end, I go clean shaven in the summertime.
That's when you shed your coat like a bear or something. When the spring comes, you come out of your cave and shed your beard. Joe has critters living in his. I saw a little bluebird pop his head out a while ago. I didn't want to say anything. That looks weird. That looks like that movie we saw, Robotrix.
Oh, I kind of want to watch that movie again now.
Well, the commentary episode is in the Lugcast folder. Oh, I need to update the Matrix.
I'm about a quarter of the way through the commentary version.
It's pretty funny,
very
isn't it?
funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Oh, I still have it. This week's movie is My Science Project, I believe. I don't even remember seeing this thing. I probably saw it when I was a kid. This was the exact kind of movie that appealed to me. Have you seen it, Lovecraft?
I don't think so. It does sound interesting, though.
It sounds familiar, but I just don't remember it.
Is Weird Science on the movie list?
I don't think so.
I think so, maybe. I don't know. I was told I couldn't add it.
You can add it.
I can't add Weird Science. I can't add Real Genius.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm,
You're just going to cry about it.
I will. I will cry. See the tears?
No? All right. Well, you do need more movies on there, so might as well add it. Weird Science, that's the one with Kelly, what's her face, right?
Kelly LeBrock.
Yeah, man. She was my babe back then.
Until she married Steven Seagal.
Shoot, I haven't even.
Ew, gross.
Are you serious? What the
That's
hell is
gross.
wrong with her?
I'm pretty sure they were married. I think they did a movie together. The one where he was like in a coma, then she nursed him back to health, and I guess that's where they met in real life.
Hard to Kill.
Is that what it is? Hard to Kill? God, man. I couldn't imagine somebody marrying Steven Seagal.
Evidently, he wasn't always fat, but he's always been a jerk.
Well, unfortunately, from what I've seen of later photos of Kelly, she
blow up?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, did anybody catch the Oscars?
Nope.
You know, they had the in memoriam on there.
There was no slapping this year. Wasn't as exciting.
Oh yeah, so I'll watch it. But there's a lot of people on there I completely forgot died. You know, like you know, when you talked about blowing up, or I said blow up, that reminded me of what's her face from Cheers, the girl.
Oh, Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley. James Caan died. I forgot about that. Who else? Anne Heche. She was in that car wreck. There's a few others. But yeah. Oh, Raquel Welch. That just happened recently, right? Man, she was a total babe back in the day.
Well, I'm sad that all those people died, but I'm really glad that Everything Everywhere All at Once did as well as it did.
Oh yeah, that's an awesome movie. That definitely deserved it. Oh my God, who is that? Is that what Kelly LeBrock looks like now? Jesus Christ!
Where are you seeing this?
In the Matrix.
I'm going over. Oh wow,
that is a nightmare. Yeah, that's well, it happens. I shouldn't come down on her so hard like that.
She got older.
Yeah, when you get old, sometimes things don't go as planned, you know. I would rather somebody look like that than have a bunch of weird plastic surgery. And
honestly, she looks like that, and it still looks like she had a bunch of weird plastic surgery before she got fat. Look at the picture.
I need to.
That's lip work. That's cheek work there.
Oh yeah,
looks like a facelift.
I guess you're right. Yeah, I see it now. But I mean, have you seen people like? Well, I posted a picture of Gary Busey in the chat. He looks freaking insane.
Well, that's because he got in a car wreck or a motorcycle accident.
You're right. He did have that happen.
Yeah.
But have you seen Madonna?
Yeah, she looks crazy.
Man, that is weird. Goblin.
Yeah.
And also
well, Kirstie Alley, I know she's dead now, and you shouldn't talk ill of the dead. But for a long time, she had that whole same look where she got fat and had all the different surgeries. Now she also had a lot of her weight bouncing back and forth, but later on, she just
she said fuck it and just stayed fat. No, I haven't seen Hanging with Busey, Magoo. Have you seen it, Joe?
No.
I understand he had that what was it, a motorcycle wreck, right?
Yeah, it's been a while now.
Head injury from that. So.
But yeah, he was never the same.
Oh, look at Mickey Rourke. He looks insane, and I don't think he's had a head injury. All the plastic surgery.
He did have plastic surgery, but the problem is that he went to a piss poor plastic surgeon after he did some boxing.
Is that what it was?
His face got messed up boxing, and then he tried to get it fixed, and it was just a really terrible plastic surgeon that just messed him up. And then he just went with it. I don't know if he can get that fixed or what, but yeah.
Well,
I mean, you figure he would have by now.
What's Madonna's excuse?
She's getting old and doesn't want to?
I just dropped a link in Matrix about Gary Busey. Last summer he was, or maybe it was before last summer, but he was at a local convention where he was apparently groping some people.
Really? Oh, Cherry Hill Tony was involved in this.
Yeah, it's about 2.5, 3 miles from where I live.
Photo shoots with Busey at the Monster Mania convention. He inappropriately touched at least 3 women. Oh, there's body cam footage. Oh, that's just of them questioning him.
Who were we talking about being married to Steven Seagal?
Kelly LeBrock.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's really good in Eye of the Tiger. You guys should watch that. That was before the motorcycle accident. And it's free on Tubi. Which, by the way, Tubi is by and far become my favorite streaming services, even with the commercials, because they're not that intrusive. They're not bad, and not. I
Well, it's
tried.
got to be better than YouTube's freaking ads every
Yeah,
2 minutes.
Tubi's free, Honky. You don't even need an account to use it, actually. But oh yeah, it's way better than YouTube stuff. Their ad, and I tried watching Pluto, and Pluto is like twice as many ads as Tubi has. Yeah,
Do you have ad blocking?
Well, I just watch it on the app instead of the web browser.
You don't have like Pi-hole set up?
No, I did, and it messed with Amazon for some reason.
Okay, then what you can do instead of setting up like an entire Pi-hole, and I have one and it's not messing up with my Amazon, but what you can do is use the AdBlock DNS.
Oh, okay. At the router?
Yeah. There's a AdBlock DNS, and it's not as good as having your own sinkhole, but AdGuard DNS, ad blocking DNS server.
Okay.
And
I wonder if it would block it. Like, see, I have Tubi installed on my TVs. I wonder if it would block the ads that appear during the broadcast. Really? That would be cool. Because I know
it should be network wide.
Because the browser. Who is that? That's Honkey. You using the bathroom? Did y'all hear that?
Yes.
Or is it just
Sounds like water running.
Well, he was washing his hands.
Why is not the first time it's happened?
Yeah, you get on to me all the time because of that, and now look at you. What'd you do? Drop the kids off at the pool? Anyway, so yeah, I used to ad block on my computer at work in Firefox, and it blocks the ads on Tubi, and that would be cool. But I don't mind the Tubi ads really, just because that helps pay for the service, and they're very minimal, compared to a lot of streaming services.
Yeah, I don't mind ads like that, but it is definitely the YouTube style. Every 2 minutes you have to deal with 2 ads, and some of them are like
terrible.
Super long. I'm so tired of that style of ads.
Damn, Madonna doesn't even look
human.
Well, but if somebody didn't tell me who that was, I would have no idea.
Yeah, same here.
What did she say?
And this is
when did
better.
That happen?
No, this is better than her picture from the other day that everybody was complaining about. This is recent. Like this one is from February 21st, 2023. So she said her face was swollen from surgery, and seriously, she doesn't even look anything remotely good.
I posted a video in the video Rama room of her, and it is just scary.
Yeah, and then the tweet is supposed to be more recent with the swelling down.
So what was the swelling from? What did she have done?
Surgery.
Oh, like facelift or what?
Evidently, she had her face turned into plastic. That's what it looks like anyway.
It's crazy, man. I don't know where that video is, but it was scary.
And here, let me get you this. I think this is the one.
AdGuard DNS, okay.
It's not the one I use because I have, a pie hole. So.
Yeah. See, I used to run a custom firmware for my ASUS router called Merlin, I think, and it had a bunch of extensions you could add, and one of them was a AdGuard service, and I can't remember what that was called. But I ran that for a while, but then I don't have an ASUS router anymore, so I don't have that firmware. So I used the Pi-hole software, and that's when I was having problems with ordering stuff on Amazon. So I just said, well, just forget it. Well, I'll just pretend like that picture of Kelly LeBrock doesn't exist, and I'll remember her as I did a young boy when I was watching Weird Science.
Yeah. That's right. Whatever makes me happy.
Are you happy, Joe? Are you happy and you know it?
Clap your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Who was that other person that was on TV that there's just basically all plastic surgery?
The one that wanted to look like Justin Bieber?
I don't know. I know there's a couple of different ones. I mean, there's Barbie Girl.
Several of those.
Or Living Barbie, or whatever you want to freaking call her.
What about those twins? Have you seen those twins that had all that weird? There was guys, and they looked like they're made out of plastic, and they had giant lips and fake abs and all this other stuff.
No.
You know what?
Without that.
What weirds me out is the
Did one of those guys die?
Oh, did they?
You know what? I'm ashamed to admit it, but I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember their names. But I thought maybe one of them had passed away not too long ago.
I wonder if that was from surgery or something. 'Cause they had a buttload of surgery. I mean, they were taking their life in their hands.
They had the addiction.
Yeah. That, what do they call it? Body
Well, body dysmorphia is actually
dysmorphia.
fairly common. I mean, it's a big thing in like the bodybuilders realm.
What does that mean anyway?
The body, you just don't like your own body.
Oh, wasn't that everybody?
Pretty much, almost everyone has some form of body dysmorphia. No, but the one I was thinking of was
euphoria. Euphoria is bliss. Dysphoria is the opposite.
Is that what's called? Body dysphoria?
It's dysmorphia.
Dysmorphia.
Dysphoria? Okay.
Dysphoria.
Joan Rivers was one I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. She did have a lot of plastic surgery. You know who's plastic surgery? Oh, okay.
No,
that's those twins.
Yeah, it looks like they both died within days of each other.
It's actually body dysmorphia, dysmorphia, or body dysmorphic disorder.
All right. Do you have body euphoria? You ever get that?
With certain drugs, I suppose.
Buster has body euphoria.
Maybe if you're Chris Bumstead and it's the day after the Olympia.
Yeah, I put that video of Madonna in the Matrix room. This is, I guess, before the swelling went down. She looks insane. Like, if you didn't know who that was, would you be able to
I would not have guessed, no.
That's crazy.
Granted, doesn't appear to be however old she is. She's what, 60-something?
Yeah. Oh, those twins were a lot older than I thought. 72.
Wow, Michael
Wow.
Jackson just did not look like Michael Jackson when he died.
No. Oh, okay. Well, what do you say? What do you want to call it?
Good night, Gracie.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Actually, that's Good Night, Gracie the Super Dog, belonging to my brother.
Let me get hit the outro here.
Madonna is 64.
Oh, okay. All right. Anybody else got anything they want to add before we sign out? No?
Good night, Miss Short, wherever you are.
Yeah, where's Miss Short, Joe?
Hopefully inside mopping the floors.
Damn. Taskmaster over here.
Elle said hi, Jeffrey.
Well, always nice to hear from the prettier side of one of my favorite couples.
Oh, somebody's peeking. Did she mop the floors like she's supposed to?
Oh, that's the other one.
Oh, okay. There's several Miss Shorts. All right. Thank you for listening, everybody. Our next recording date will be April 7th. Our music is Downright, provided by Klaatu and Broam, and we'd like to thank Delwin for the use of his mumble server. Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to Fatherfinch, Fweeb, Dave Morris, and Tony Beemus for all their help and support over the years. My name is Minnix. And you guys' names are, you can say them now.
I'm Joe.
And you're supposed to say good night, too.
Good night.
You can tell
Good night from Mordency.
I'm not a pro. Sorry.
Good night from Lovecraft.
Shut up, Honky. All right. Good night, Netminer.
Good night, gentlemen and short people.
And good night, Cherry Hill. Hopefully, one of these days, Lovecraft will make it over there and set you up on the Mumble server to talk. So, until next time, we will see you later.